Today we gave a lesson to the world, to the investing community, when in the morning I said that shares of Netflix would close around $571, despite the fact that by closing bell, the markets in the US, they plunged. Dow Jones Industrials almost 300 points, while Nasdaq lost almost 80 points. Not only I made a call in Netflix, as well as in Altera Corporation once again, both companies, they closed in the green and substantially higher, since Netflix the day before rallied $86 per share. Altera Corporation today closed above $44. You'll find information about this at stockmarketlive.tv. So unlike other companies and people who make claims or promise, we demonstrate continuously results in the stock market. And today I believe that is an historical day for all of you customers who believed in my analysis, who have been teaching you here how to invest in the stock market, how to make the most, and by following the guidance, the methodology that you have very well described on the website, you, unlike others, you actually are laughing about all these predictions, nonsense predictions that you see on the media regarding shares of Altera Corporation and Netflix. I'm referring obviously to the comments on CNBC, on certain programs by entertainers and others that they claim themselves to be professionals, when they irresponsibly they denounced that Altera Corporation, it was not a good stock to invest in, and much less Netflix ahead of earnings when shares they were trading at $417. So are you aware that the return on investment in Netflix, it is higher than 1000% here? Are you aware that there are actually people who believe that their money it is safe in retail banks? Are you aware that today there are people who actually lost all their money by investing in safe commercial paper from banks? I'm referring to stories that they are happening today. You just have to Google and you find stories, real banks present in different countries. I can give you an example, a recent one. Grupo Espírito Santo, all those that they invested in commercial paper, they lost all their money, despite the fact that the Portuguese central bank, which is in fact it is not a central bank, gave the approval for this issue. And therefore, are you aware that there are actually people that they believe 5% it is a good return on investment in the markets? Are you aware that most hedge fund managers, they don't get even 5%? Are you aware that there are people that believe that investing in the stock market it is actually the same as gambling? Are you aware that people believe actually that stock prices cannot be predicted? Are you aware that people believe in Kramer, in CNBC, fast money, or in Santa Claus? Again, I repeat, this is happening today. And so when we closed Netflix 571, when I say we closed, it means that we bet once again in Netflix all the way up from the morning price, opening bell, $558, all the way up to 571. Yesterday I had the opportunity to record a video where I demonstrated the example of a real account, where my colleague informed subscribers, you, at Netflix in that same day, yesterday, was going from 533 all the way up to 560. Are you aware that there are actual people that, despite the fact that shares of Netflix rallied 1000%, they don't have a position in the stock? Are you aware that there are actually people who lost all their money selling short Netflix? Are you aware that there are people that they really followed these recommendations on CNBC, selling short stocks like Netflix or Altera Corporation? Well, this is happening today. So this sentence that you see on the screen, yes, we can, derives from the fact that we can, unlike others, demonstrate the results that we announce in the blog or on the website. Because we make all these calls live, they are recorded. Nevertheless, there are people that, besides or before the facts, they still don't believe. It is happening today. This to say what? That there are people for everything. And so, here at stockmarketlive.tv, our company Vieira Trading, we pick up, we choose the customers, those that we want to work with. Because this is critical, this is very important. The fundamental reason to choose you as a potential customer is that today or yesterday, as it happened, I could inform you that Netflix shares, they were going to move higher. I informed you 1 month ago that we were buying or recommended to buy 150,000 shares of Netflix, $417. The question, it is always the same. How many shares did you buy? The results, they depend entirely on you. They don't depend on us. You are the one who is going to pull the trigger. You are the one trading or investing with your own broker account. And so, here, our role is to give you all the resources, all the information in real time. To explain, to teach you the methodology. Methodology that it is proven to work under different market conditions across different sectors. And today, Friday, once again we proved it when 2 days ago I informed you that the markets, they were going to sell off. I informed you about certain positions where to open short positions in the market, but at the same time I informed you that Netflix and Altera Corporation, they were going to move higher. And so by announcing this in advance, I was telling you, in the end, the key formula to continue making a lot of money in the market, regardless of stock market conditions. And this is what I've been doing for more than 20 years. And so I want to thank you, to all of you that have been following this guidance, not because our objective it is to be right 100% of the time, because it is not. If you ask me whether all the customers, they are making lots of money, that is not the case. We even have 2 customers that they can lose money. And one of the questions that you could make, a very good question, is why does it happen? Well, last year in 2014, I told you a real case story of a customer that one day he called me and he said, I'm losing money, $4,000. And I asked, how are you losing money in this stock if the shares are falling and our trade alert was to sell short the stock. And the answer was, I have a long position. What else can I say? I don't know what you are doing. I know what we recommend to do. I know that we have been here 7 days per week, 24 hours per day, helping people, and those that they really need help, those that they are willing to change their attitude. So this is about a philosophy. Yes, we can. It also depends on you. We don't accept every single individual or company or hedge fund as a customer, because you see on the web that there are no negative reviews. So we have to be very picky regarding the people that we want to work with. 30 years ago, when I applied once for a job, I got an interview, and as every single process applying for a job, I had to go through different steps. When I got to the vice president, basically the final interview, the individual asked me to sell a watch. He had a very nice watch. It was a Rolex with diamonds, better than mine in fact, or more beautiful. Well, I'm not a lady. Normally ladies, I like, they love diamonds. Anyway, my answer during the interview, that lasted for just 15 minutes, was pretty simple. I didn't apply to this job to sell watches. And I do understand your request, since basically was talking about what is common as the elevator's pitch. However, the subject of this interview is complex sales, and so if I were you, I would make 2 questions. Basically, I would be interested to know about your attitude, because attitude is by far more important than knowledge, since at that time I was pretty young, and basically you could not expect from me to have any sort of experience, which I didn't have at all. And secondly, the question that I would have is, why would I hire you if you don't have any experience whatsoever? And I answered, that is precisely my key advantage, competitive advantage, probably comparing to anyone else. The fact that I didn't have any experience, it will make me a superior candidate compared to others, because it could teach me everything since the beginning. I didn't have any addictions or vicious that otherwise they would be negative. And so in 15 minutes I convinced him to hire me, and I was the first person in my country to enter that company that thereafter became a case study in masters regarding management in different universities in the world. And so I learned quite a lot working for some companies, in particular this one, an American company. And today I still work, or basically all my partners, 95% they are Americans, because and the reason why I discuss primarily the US stock market is related to many factors, being one of them precisely the fact that the United States continue to be the leading country in the world. It is in the United States where you find companies like Google, Facebook. It is United States where you find Tesla Motors. It is United States where you find companies like Apple and so on. Companies that they startups, companies that they are, they appear almost daily, that they show to the rest of the world where we have to go. Companies, when you contact them, you obtain a response sometimes in less than half an hour. In other parts of the world, that is not possible. However, here in this company, we beat all of them in real time. So today I'm going to show you this historical day. You already are aware of this blog article. Vieira trading subscribers quadruple investment in Netflix. I'm talking about you, since I'm talking to subscribers. Today Netflix closed at 571.55. So I was conservative once again, since I said in the morning that shares they will be closing around 571. Today in the morning I recommended to buy 20,000 shares, 558. They closed at 571. Altera Corporation closed above $44. Do I have to say something else? I believe that this sentence, yes, we can, tells everything. This is Netflix chart. So yesterday I was here creating a video showing to the rest of the world those trade alerts real time, the comments that we made regarding Netflix, and bear in mind that I didn't show to them all the comments, all the trades regarding Altera Corporation, because if I was going to show that, they will not believe, my friends. My colleague Nikolai, in the past week, he made probably like 25 trades in Altera Corporation. All of them, you have all of them in the collaborative live trading platform, all of them, and I'm talking about all of them for more than 50,000 shares, with an accuracy 97 to 100%. You have there that information. And so the question, it is always the same. How much have you done? The results, they don't depend on us. They depend on you, your attitude. You are aware of this. So I believe that you should not feel frustrated because your results could be considered inferior compared to others when you see some testimonials on the website. But one thing I can tell you, you have the resources, you have the information, so you have to work on it. Show us the money, show us the attitude that we have been showing here before you, since you have been a subscriber. I've been available on weekends, calling many of you, explaining certain situations, investment plans, helping you to make the most. But what I cannot tell you, or what I cannot do, is to pull the trigger for you. What I cannot do is to change your attitude or to force you to change. And so I can give you other example of a real customer. Last year in 2014, I called him on a weekend and I explained how he could make $1 million in Twitter. And I gave him basically all the instructions. You are going to do this. I told him about the position sizing. I told him about the entry price. I told him about all the information ahead of earnings. I gave him more than 1 month a plan to do it. 5 days later, I called the customer and I asked him, which is your position in Twitter? And the answer was, I don't have a position. Obviously, my question was then, why don't you have a position? And he said, the weather is very bad. I've been working in the garden because we had to clean some snow and blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm telling you the truth. I'm here telling the truth. It might be silly, this story, but it corresponds to the truth. Well, I didn't get upset, although I found it silly, because personally, if I had an investment plan, I would hire someone to clean the garden or the mess, and I would be before the screen doing something about it, because you have to choose. This is not a car sales business. We are not selling potatoes. We have a very serious business where a lot of money it is involved. And we are talking about your money. And so often I believe that I'm more careful or concerned about your account than yourself. And this should not happen. The person who should be more concerned about your account, it should be you. That is at least my opinion. But I'm aware that today, as well as in the past, and it will be always like this in the future, people, they don't care. There are people that, in fact, although it appears to be silly, they feel stressed, distressed by making money. When they are making money, they feel distressed, they feel emotional problems. Well, we are here to help you to make the most, to change, to understand the methodology. We make our job when we announce that certain things are going to happen, when it is necessary to be there. I've been explaining that you don't have to trade every single day. You don't have to be in the market every single day or every single week. Netflix or Altera Corporation are terrific examples how using just 2 opportunities in a matter of less than a couple of weeks, you make your year 2015 and you don't need anything else. And this is the reality. So if you know that this corresponds to the truth, because I've been proving it for the past 20 years continuously, why to do something different? Why to day trade stocks? Why to turn on TV? Why to listen to what others have to say? Why to occupy your time on message boards? You are wasting your time. Not only you are wasting your time, it is dramatically dangerous to your future. So you have today and right now the opportunity to change once for all, or you have to assume the consequence. It is pretty simple. Because there are many companies out there, they offer free service, and therefore I don't mind at all, that if you don't feel comfortable with the service, you quit, and you have all those message boards on Seeking Alpha, Yahoo, Motley Fool, and many other websites in the US, and you just masturbate with others, sharing your arguments or reasons for stocks to move. That's up to you. I don't mind at all. Having said this, I do recommend that you look at the information that is available on the website. Even people that they are no subscribers, they are making lots of money. We have been receiving emails confirming this situation. For example, this website that I was not aware of in the United States, Market Pairs, based on a tweet that I sent some time ago, they measured that Netflix rallied more than 20% after my tweet. I don't mind that others, they make money in the stock market based on the information that we make available on some social media websites. There is nothing wrong about it. What they don't understand is that, that is not important. What really matters, the key advantage, is to understand why this is happening. When then to take profits. It's not about I make $1 million and then next week you lose $1 million. No, the secret in the market, what is difficult, it is precisely to be able to do this continuously, consistently, regardless of stock market conditions. As I explained in the case of Apple, and I don't have anything against Apple, but when I made that call in Apple Live at 1:33, for some reason, you knew that then the stock was going to sell off significantly. And Apple, it is the #1 company in the world, where you have a considerable float. So if I said that Netflix, we are going to double or quadruple the size of the investment position, existing one, you automatically knew that Netflix was not going to rally $100 per share. So in the matter of less than 1 month, shares, they went from $410 all the way up to $571. You have this information available in the collaborative live training platform and on video, which is very important because I announced the plan ahead of earnings, when to take profits in Netflix, when to re-enter Netflix, and as I've been doing it continuously, year after year, once again it worked. And so, if it worked in the past, and because you have a very high level of accumulated profits, once again you had the money, the capital, to follow the plan. The plan that is available on the website, precisely here on this website, profit from Netflix earnings call live. This is the video that I made available to you that tells you everything that you needed to know about Netflix ahead of earnings. If you wanted more information in real time, you have it on the collaborative live trading platform. If Netflix it is in your portfolio, because there are subscribers that they, for other reasons, they don't want Netflix. But I can tell you that my best customers are those that they invested in first place in education. All of them, they went through the trading course. All of them, they went through the emotional analysis course. All of them. All of them, they neglect what other websites are saying about Netflix or Altera or whatever. Apple, Amazon, Tesla Motors. They don't even visit those websites other than to send me articles, probably trying to tease me to make some video, discussing the matter, as in fact it was the case, very much of your help with the, in the case of, I'm referring to not long ago, the Alibaba, where on CNBC they were recommending to invest heavily in Alibaba ahead of earnings, and Alibaba shares, they collapsed. In that case, I made a video because I really wanted to help people to understand, to fully comprehend that was not incompetence, but by far more serious than incompetence. Those investors, they were going to lose money, and they lost a lot of money. I know people that they lost almost all their accounts in the past months because they informed us about it in Alibaba by following stock analysts, by following their brokers' recommendations. But like I said before, there are people today, it is happening today, they still go to a retail bank and they buy commercial paper, they open an account, even knowing, sometimes, probably they don't know, but the fact is that the bank, it is bankrupt. The bank that I referred to before, the case of Grupo Espírito Santo, that bank, it was bankrupt. Nevertheless, people, they were buying commercial paper. The demand for commercial paper for a bankrupt bank, it was several times over the supply. You just have to Google it. It is a fact. Do you know that there are actually people that invest in a bank before the collapse? And people, they say, but I didn't know. You didn't know. But what? I'm sorry, you didn't know. How you don't know? The question is that I don't understand how they don't know. I don't understand, if you probably remember a few years ago, how people, they were surprised when MF Global, it is other bank, you remember, big one, in fact a broker, collapsed. You didn't know that was going to happen. But you have here on the website, you had it here, the case studies, the recommendations, saying that it was worth zero. So you don't know. Probably, my friend, you don't know because you are watching CNBC, or you are reading the local newspaper, or you occupy your time reading, I'm sorry, bullshit. But that is your problem. It is not mine. So probably one of your occupations should be to learn how to distinguish the crap, the bullshit, from the truth. To distinguish from someone who can, instead of promise as a politician something which he knows in advance that he will not be able to accomplish, from someone that has been here for 20 years demonstrating results. Why don't we have negative reviews? I don't want, in fact, I mean, it is a bit scary because in the end someone can say, well, I'm going now to write a negative review about them. But this is, I mean, don't you find strange that, after 20 years we don't have negative reviews? I'm telling you the truth. So why don't you find a negative review? Do you know that we are the company that offered, there is a public challenge, I offered $1 million. If you want to make money, you have a public challenge, I offer $1 million. So what are you waiting for? But I want to say more. I don't want to terminate here because although this appears to be simple, this is not simple, my friends. This is externally complex. This is not about confidence. This is not about being arrogant. Do you know what I do consider to be arrogant? I consider to be arrogant someone on CNBC saying that Netflix at $500 it was pretty expensive. Don't buy, skip the opportunity. That is arrogancy. That is arrogancy, my friends. Arrogancy is in 2012 to be watching these media and to have programs saying that Netflix at $60 it was not worth. It could go lower. But 1 year before, when shares they were trading almost at $400, Netflix can go higher. Do you remember? And these are facts that they are recorded on TV. You just have to search on their websites. So when I mention as on the blog giving you several examples I discussed last year in companies like Plug Power, or a couple of weeks ago in Lululemon shares, or in Alibaba, or in Apple. Often I do not refer to incompetence because I don't believe, quite frankly, that people are so much that incompetence it is so high. Also, I don't believe that although many probably are stupid, I don't believe that someone can be so stupid, to, quite frankly, advise others to buy shares of a company ahead of a collapse, total crash, meltdown. So I just have to have or to take my own conclusions that instead of incompetence, we probably have other games behind it. Whether they are legal or illegal, that is not of my concern because that should be a concern of authorities. But it is a fact that these companies are protected by their own terms of service. So you have these individuals on the media, in the end assuming the role of financial advisors and destroying accounts of everyone, or almost everyone. I do remember the case of Mobile Eye, other emails I received about people that they lost almost all their money. Or in GoPro. Yes, in GoPro. In GoPro, I discussed GoPro since IPO. You cannot imagine the number of people that they lost so much money in GoPro. So if you are a subscriber, let me tell you this. If you are a subscriber and today you have not made $1 million at least in GoPro, you know that the real responsibility for it is entirely yours, because the information it is there, it has been always there. I made all the calls that you needed to make. But let me tell you what the real story. You know that I made those calls in GoPro. I made those calls and I uploaded as part of the training course. The training course where you have more than 20 lessons. And so one day we made a survey. We called several customers and we found, in fact not to be surprising, one of them we found, are you making money in GoPro? And he said, this to answer a common question. And the question, or the common question that if I was not a subscriber, I would have is, your results are amazing, the track record and so on, but does everyone make a lot of money? And the answer is no. But again, that is not should not be, it is not the right question, because I give you the answer, but you have to understand why the answer it is no, and it will be always no. Not everyone makes a lot of money. Here we don't make promise. Here we don't use always or never. And why not everyone makes a lot of money? For a very simple reason. Human beings, they have different outputs when before the same input. And so, for example, with this customer, although we had the call to sell short GoPro at $95 on that same day, as an example, or the other example where he received free SMS trade alerts on his mobile when and how to make $100,000 in GoPro in one single day, he didn't make anything. And so your question is why he didn't make anything? Because that is my same question when I call him. I want to know why. Why? It's because you didn't have the capital. It's because, it's fine, but at least $1,000 or $10,000 you could have made. So, but why didn't you make any money? One single dollar. Why? And the answer, it was related to the fact that his broker didn't have any shares of GoPro. So he could not sell short and he could not buy GoPro. So in the end, he could not trade GoPro. However, during the trading course that lasted for quite a while, he saw that he could make a lot of money. So what I would have done, it was to open immediately an account in other broker. But what I cannot force is people to do it. People, they do what they want. I don't have any problems whatsoever. So we decided to continue pursuing, and he traded other stocks instead of the stock where in fact he had more information because he was a subscriber of the trading course. He had all the information about GoPro, as well as in fact also El Pollo Loco. But in the end, the broker didn't have these stocks for him to trade or to invest in according to the information that he had on video. Instructions to make, listen to what I have to say, millions of dollars. Those instructions are the same instructions that I recorded and then published several case studies, historical live trade alerts on GoPro and El Pollo Loco and Sears Holdings and other companies. So in the end, when he assumed that he didn't want to change broker, at the same time probably didn't know or didn't believe, but in the end, what I want to say is that he regretted. And so, did he learn something about it? And my answer, to be frank, is I don't think that he learned something about it. Because in the future, it is going to do probably differently. But, listen to what I have to say here. Which is the future? Does he have money in the future? Because, you see, those that they bought Netflix, the day before, and ahead of earnings, those that they follow the recommendation, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, they are going to continue being here. They have the capital for it. Those that they started in 2012, even more. And so it is as it is. But those that, as this customer, decided, you know, to believe in some kind of miracle, in the end to believe in his broker, which is the next opportunity. You know, he missed it all. So the market, although it gives you endless opportunities, but my friend, if you miss it all of them or most of it, because in the end you are irresponsible, because you don't care. But do you know how we figured it out? Because we care. We called these persons, we made a survey, and we found this one, that the broker didn't have shares. So if the broker didn't have shares, again, you know, this depends on the attitude of the person. I would have opened an account in a different broker immediately, because, you know, he had the track record. He knew that it was going to work, and he had time to do something about it. So when people, they ask me, you know, all of your customers, they make a lot of money, and the answer is no. There are people like this one that it didn't make anything. Like the case in 2014, that lady, she lost money in a stock, in a company where there was a short recommendation. Shares, they were falling. I gave her the formula to make a lot of money, and she didn't do anything about it. What can I do about it? Nothing, because I just have to accept the reality as it is. As well as you, on the other side, you have to assume responsibility for, you know, your account. So my role here, it has never been, you know, to instill confidence on people by selling a promise that cannot be accomplished, although sometimes it might be frustrating for some to see certain testimonials or reviews on the site. But there are many, I can tell you that the most, they don't appear there because it's not possible. Otherwise we would have, you know, pages and pages of reviews. I have a customer, I don't have that review on the website. It was, I think, 1 month ago, more or less. He subscribed to one of the plans in the video on demand. He invested, namely, not on trading, but in that plan, Trading 101. He has a very small account. He does not play options, because I'm against options. I already explained this in 100 articles during the past years. He has a small account, a very small account. I'm talking about an account that is ridiculously low, $10,000. And in a matter of 1 month, he made 30%. Look, I don't know if I will be able to make 30%. I've shown on, there are articles on the blog with real accounts where I show a triple-digit return, how to make it, several times, not with the same account, different years. You have it on YouTube, you have it, those are real accounts. But that is externally complex, it's difficult. And so I found that, you know, this person that does not have much experience, who has in fact a small account, that can make 30% on a single day, or sorry, on a single month, $10,000. So there are people that, you know, they are willing to change their attitude, and that is what it is worth for us to work with people like that. And I'm not referring to people, as well as there are customers that they have a lot of money, but the attitude, as when I refer to this example that happened to me 30 years ago when I applied to that job, we are looking for the right attitude. This is not a religion. This is going to happen and you have to follow. This is not what I've been saying. Do not get confused. Every single day, we look for confirmation of a process. We have been discussing the process of investing in these companies for years, since IPO in Google, I don't know, in Facebook, since IPO. So we've been discussing is about the process, it's about the long-term process. It is not about whether today, it is going to happen or not. But what did happen, in fact, today, it is dramatically important, because not only we all together, I, the team, and you as a customer, we show to the world, yes, we can. When we close Netflix at $571, Altera Corporation above $44, and those stocks that I recommended to sell short, they plunged. Bear in mind that one of them that you have given by my teammate, you made more than 150,000 US dollars in a matter of less than 48 hours in that stock. All right, so have a good weekend and see you next week. Thank you.